Hello, my name's Jason and welcome back to I Have a Story. In my last video I made, I had talked about ideology and how I see some major problems with what ideology has done to our country. Above and beyond what I talked about in the last video. There's so much to talk about how where ideology has gone wrong because reality's still reality. You can't sugarcoat it, you can't put makeup on a pig and it's still a pig. Um, So one of the ideologies that are really bothersome to me that I'd like to talk about is mosquito spraying. We have this ideology. People have gotten so scared. I've heard people, I don't want to go outside. There's mosquitoes. You can die from getting bit by a mosquito. So just a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I looked it up. I was wondering what the statistic was. How many people in my entire state of Michigan died from mosquito bites? When I looked it up, the entire documented for that year, and this was just 2 or 3 years ago, was 3 people died from mosquito bites. That was. Why do I keep lifting my right arm? Oh. My last video that I made, you didn't get to see it. I don't know. Thought I had my video, my screen recording me too, but it was not. Uh, kept trying to use my right arm, and it's just habit. I'm right-handed, and just. So, I looked it up. 3 people died in the entire year from mosquitoes. I personally know more than 3 people that died in that year from cancer. We become so scared of mosquitoes, but we're not scared of cancer, and cancer seems to just be a generic term. It's what does cancer even mean anymore? Everything's cancer. Um, so, and I didn't look up the statistic, and right now I'm having struggles with my eyes and vision and trying to do this stuff. It's where I really wish I just had a partner to help me, and very simple help would get me and my knowledge out there a lot better than what I can do it right now myself with what I'm doing, but I'm going to do the best I can with right now. Um, about 4 years ago, and I took screenshots of all the stuff and going through all the pictures and trying to find the stuff's going to take me time. I had screenshot and I was documenting because I'm getting ready to do this channel now for many years. It just my life changed direction and I got into a bad spot and need help out of. I need help saving my children and everything. But I still want to try to share, get my knowledge out there and share my thoughts. Uh, so, 3 people die in 1 year of mosquitoes, and we're going to be so scared of a mosquito that now we have to fill our environment full of poisons to kill them. Well, here's some things that I found. I found just disturbing with the documents that were being reported by my state. At the time, I lived in Ohio. I seem to just live in the state of confusion. I think that's where I'm at most of the time. But at the time, I was living in the state of Ohio. And when I'd done the research and was doing the research that the state itself was specifically putting out, here were things that I found concerning in what they were saying. They say that they're spraying this poison in our environment, but it's totally safe to our environment. It only attacks mosquitoes. But then they follow it up with saying, put your chicken and your livestock indoors at night because we don't want it to harm them. Well, wait, didn't you just say it was safe and we only have to worry about it harming mosquitoes? So then they follow it up saying, well, we spray at night because that way most people are indoors and it's safer to spray it at night. Well, wait, if you just said it was safe to everything but mosquitoes, now it's not even safe to people. But yet you're not saying that in the specific words. We're taking precautions over something we just said was safe. Now here's even more things that I found alarming. They also claim they are spraying at night. I just stated that. They're spraying at night to protect the people and us from having to breathe it. But they also state that once it gets wet, that it becomes an inactive ingredient. Now, you show me anywhere in Ohio, Michigan, any surrounding areas, I can't speak for the whole country, but what happens at night? Dew sets in. Everything is wet. So, if this poison is landing on the mosquito's environment and supposed to kill them, well, how's it doing that when everything's wet if it becomes inert when it gets wet? Well, that does all of it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, again, you try to use common sense, and what they're telling you isn't making any sense. So we're so worried about people dying of mosquitoes when 3 people in 1 year died, but yet how many thousands of people die every year in one state from cancer? And then again, we put this in our environment. How do we get it back out when we find out it's not good? And if all that isn't bad enough, when do they spray? They spray in November. Well, mosquito season's done by then. Why are we spraying in November? The mosquitoes are already done, gone, dormant, hidden in the ground, wherever they go. They're already gone. So we're going to spray for mosquitoes in November. It's safe. It's safe for you, but we're going to do it at night so that you're indoors, and then it's taking precautions so that it is safe for you and it's safe for the environment, but not your livestock. And we're going to spray at night, and then comes wet, it becomes inert. None of this makes sense. I mean, does this make any of this? Does any of this make sense to you? It really makes me question, are they even telling us the truth about what they're spraying? I mean, none of it makes sense. And then again, we're going to spray in November and mosquito season's even over. And if all of that isn't bad enough, this past fall, we just had our worst mosquito season that locals have been telling me they've seen in many, many years. But yet we're still spraying all this poison. So on top of all the things I just talked about, apparently it's not even working anyway. Because if it was, and we've already been spraying this stuff for years, again, I was researching this roughly 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago that I was researching this stuff and reading the documents and getting prepared to make a documentary on the mosquito spraying in specific, and many documentaries I want to make, and as these stories I'm sharing with you throughout time. Again, I have a lot of knowledge, and I see a lot that goes on around me, and I do a lot of research and investigation, and I'm a curious mind wants to know. So now my curious mind wants to know, why are we doing this? If none of it made any sense, and it obviously didn't make any difference because we just had our worst mosquito season in years, why are we still doing it? What is the actual outcome in the end of doing it? Oh yeah, I mean, PFAS was safe and now it's not, and Teflon was safe and now it's not, and Tylenol was safe and now it's not. I mean, is there anything we haven't made that actually is safe? Well, some of that has to go to question, although I know the vast majority, a lot of it is not. And I don't want to say hide and run from everything, because I don't, and I'm not telling you to, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel, again, nonsensical. I'm in a world that just doesn't make sense, and I don't like it. We're the people. This is my backyard, my future, my health of my children. What does any of it mean? To me, I say we just stop. Obviously it didn't work. Why are we still doing it? Years and years later, it's still not doing anything. None of it makes any sense. Why are we still doing it? Oh yeah, that's right. We said we weren't doing it forever. We lie, and this is part of my problem. I mean, you come out and lie to me, well, fool me once, fool me twice, right? Shame on me. So I've gotten to a point where I'm having a real hard time believing so much of what I'm seeing and hearing around me, because it does not make any sense. Does the grass all of a sudden blue and the sky's green? Are we supposed to believe that because that's just what we're told? Even though we look out our window and we should be able to know the difference. So, nope, grass is still green, sky is blue. But what we're told, is that what we're just supposed to believe? I've never been like that my entire life, because I'm a person who's always been able to think for myself. I'm one who looks around me and actually pays attention to it. My head isn't full of entertainment and please me and make me happy. I'm one of those rare people that my head pays attention, is full of knowledge. I am so diversely full of knowledge and know so much about so many different things. Here's what I want to share with you. Did you know the original saying of Jack of all trades, master of none? Do you know what that original saying used to be? The original saying to that was master of all trade, or Jack of all trades, master of one. And the reason that was is because 100 years ago, you didn't have a plumber to call. You didn't have an electrician to call. You didn't have a mechanic to call. I mean, sure, there were specialty shops. People, obviously forged and made things, but you didn't have a professional to just come and call to come and fix your stuff. You had to learn how and have knowledge how to keep up on all that yourself, but you had one trade that made you your money, that was your income for your family. So the original saying was, Jack of all trades, master of one. Again, translation has been lost throughout time, and not only lost but turned, because now society is different. And but it seems like what trade are you a jack of? It seems like I just see a bunch of jackals. That's pretty much been my life, bunch of jackals. I need more jacks in my life. Maybe some Jill. I'd need a little Jill in my life too. I don't foresee that happening anytime soon, if ever. There's no way I would bring another person into my world or into my life and share my misery with them. Not until I get my life under control and figured out and turn back around again. But it would be nice one day. So I want to know why do we continue doing things that I see that aren't working? My community sees that aren't working. They don't make sense in what they're telling us with all of it to begin with. What is really going on then? What are they really doing? That's where I have to go to question. Once things get to a point of this does not make any sense whatsoever, it has to go to question as to why it's happening and what's really behind it. So that's the way I see it. So please comment below. Let me know. What do you think? You okay with just being sprayed with poison, saying it's safe, but yet it's not really safe, but we're going to kind of twist it to make you think it's safe, and in the end, we'll find out and be the guinea pigs, and if we die, we die. I know of a lot more incidences like this that I plan on sharing more of in the future. So I'm asking you, please subscribe, like my channel, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned, because I've got a lot more knowledge like this I want to share with people. I want to know, are you really scared of a mosquito? I got bit at least 100 times this past season. At least every year. I'm an outdoorsman. I love being outside, and I don't wear off. They have to be really bad. I will start a campfire and smoke out the area before I put on chemicals on my body and poison and toxify myself even more. And sometimes there is a rare necessity for that. But that's not what this world is anymore. We're going to go outside, spray. Well, is there even mosquitoes out? We don't know. Just be prepared. That's the soft world we live in now. Everything has to comfort us and feel good. Well, does it feel good to have cancer? I've watched many people die of cancer. My grandparents all died of cancer. It's not enjoyable. I want to bring health back to this world and make this a healthy environment for my kids. And I want my kids back so that I can train them to be educated in the future, to know how to take better care of themselves. That's our job as a parent. That's what we're supposed to do. I've been denied my right to do that job, and instead my children have been harmed by women who have done just the opposite. Again, more videos coming. Stay tuned.